Wagwan, brethren.
We're back.
We're back again for another part. Oh, man, it's been too long. You know, long weekend. You have to spend time with family, but ball was like, whoa.
Yo, Puff, I might have to, I'm reiterating it again. These playoffs has been fire.
Like, whoa.
Drop it. Back once again. Back once again. Once again. Puff.
And Vern. And Vern.
Puff.
And
Vern. We're back once again.
That's how the playoffs has been right now. Oh, Vern.
Woo!
I've been well enjoying myself with the playoffs, brother.
Yeah, what did I say? What did I say on the start of the season? I said, I have a feeling. I didn't know what it was. But I do have a feeling these playoffs are going to be wicked. And they're the best playoffs in
wild.
Years.
And well versatile.
Years.
Jeez.
So, let's get into it. Let's jump into it.
Yo, we don't want to talk about the Raptors. We'll talk about
Raptors we'll talk about another time. You know what I mean?
The playoffs. What do you want to talk about first?
Eastern Conference. Because I don't know if you guys know, in the beginning, I'm after the take is not sitting well. It did not age well. Puff and I agreed
not Puff and I, Vern.
Yo, brother, stop your lying.
Vern.
You know what? I'm going to put, when I clip this up, I'm going to put the video in there with Puff saying that. It's going to be Boston.
I just want to see Boston and Cleveland.
It's going to be Boston.
Cleveland might, anyways. Yeah, Boston, right? Cleveland.
You
sure I said that?
You said it, brother.
I think it was you that said that.
Brother, you said it.
I think it was you that said that.
Okay?
I think it was
I'm going to find the clip and I'm going to clip it up. Okay? But predictions were Boston Celtics and Cleveland Cavaliers
get tomb
in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Both of them get fists.
But we have the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers.
So,
Lord of mercy.
But anyways, we should talk about like
how we got there.
Yeah, how we got there. Like, come on, like. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
What the Haliburton?
Oh my goodness!
Oh my!
This has been some crazy games, some insane games. Like you have to watch them to the end. You can't skip
end. To the end.
To the end.
To the flipping end.
Trust me.
Those guys went into Cleveland, dealt with the case, beat them in 5. Yes, Cleveland had injuries on early,
but a lot of the man them didn't step up. They
what
disappeared.
I realized is the only man that had real significant injury was Garland.
Oh, Garland, you could tell.
Because Mobley got injured and never played the next game, but then played the next game.
Yeah.
Played the third game.
But the thing is, remember last year? That's the same thing happened to them. Remember?
Allen didn't want to try it. He
didn't want to try it.
it.
But I understand you're injured. But
yeah, but after Regin, you see, we're going to talk about the OKC in Denver. Mm. You see, man, with a level 2 grade hamstring strain and playing.
Vern, how much do they want it is the question.
That's true. Well, maybe that explains why they got boxed up by Tyrese Haliburton, Pascal Siakam, Andrew Neymar, Miles Turner, and the Indiana Pacers. Wow,
but it was exciting. Wow. Both of those series, man. Honestly, I thought this was going to be a waste of time to watch, but
both of them.
It has been extremely exciting.
So
sometimes Vern is wrong, but again, we still enjoyed the basketball because the basketball was on point. It was on point.
The basketball was on point.
You say I was wrong too, but
the basketball was
it's
on
rare,
point.
but I was wrong. I was wrong. But the basketball's on point. I love an underdog. So yeah. I was cheering it. I was up in.
What were you more shocked by? Indiana beating Cleveland or Boston losing to the Knicks?
Boston losing the first 2 games in the Garden.
That was a shock.
I was extreme because I think it was that series more.
That's
because both of those games they're up by 20. And then might just come back. Both of them come back. It's like, come on.
Come on, man.
It's like, yo.
And isn't it rare though that you see 2 teams, road teams, go into someone's gym and take 2 games?
Yeah,
from top seeds,
the way
the
it started,
top two
all
seeds.
the road games, the man were winning. Yeah, it was honestly. I love to see that because if I don't have a dog and like Team LeBron got us out a long time,
the Raptors didn't come
Toronto
close.
don't even reach playoffs. So now I just want to see. So series to series, I decide who I want to vote.
Parity is back in basketball.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Parity is back in basketball. But let's really dive into that Boston series. Like the Cleveland series, they have a lot of injuries, but Indiana there was something about them. I don't think it's them. They boxed
first
them
two games. What it is, it really broke it down to the point where can a 3-point shooting team win in the playoffs? We've seen it happen in the last few seasons, but even now you're seeing the teams that are shooting more threes. It's not benefiting them.
It's not.
It's not.
It's definitely not.
It's like certain teams like Indiana, they went off and started shooting like crazy in the last game at the end and started hitting, but the majority of their shots are in the paint. It's 2-pointers.
Everyone's getting into the cup.
You look Shai's killing them, man, in the 2-pointers. Yeah. You see, I think that's what happened because the saying we always said, you live by the 3,
you're dead by the 3.
You die by the 3. So if the 3's not dropping, you're in trouble.
You're a problem.
You're in trouble.
You're a problem. So, that was a surprise, but it wasn't really as big of a surprise as the Celtics.
I thought Celtics was a big surprise.
I did not see the Celtics
because the thing is, you look at the Celtics, they're seasoned. They're the champs.
Exactly.
You can see Cleveland is okay. There's some young man. They're not so experienced. They maybe need more box up before, but them man are experienced. They've been there. They know what it takes.
They have a chip. They have 2 guys who could go to the cup. But what happened?
Somebody came in and just gave them something.
Those 2 games are up 20, slap up. And then, so if Tatum didn't get injured, do you think they would have came back?
If
because they were up, and he was having one of those.
He was having
one of those
game.
games. He was having one of those games, though. He was having one of those games.
It looked like he was going down to the wire.
Yeah.
But then again, you can't even say.
You can't even say.
They put themselves in a position where they were. Who knows? Yeah. But that's the thing in the playoffs. You understand? Every year there's injuries.
Yep.
Every year there's.
But injuries. It's also injuries. But it's complacency in those first 2 games. You're up 20. Why you take your foot off the gas? You know when you're up 20 in this NBA, that's up 10.
True.
Because with the 3-point shot, that's up 10.
True. But the same thing, you look at, remember, OKC lost that game. They're trying to foul against Denver their first game, and they end up losing it. So, anyways, it's just exciting to see, man. We're seeing leads. You think the game's over.
Wait a minute. I thought you'd have been more excited since the man loved to hate on Boston. Boston lost, you know what I mean?
You know why? Maybe
you're not excited.
No. The reason why I'm not as excited is because the Boston commentators are not there.
Oh yeah,
the Boston commentators, I've just been laughing. Oh, that was a foul.
That's
what
true.
Crazy.
That's true.
The amount of been crying.
That's true.
Now I was like, okay, okay.
That's true.
And I feel everybody feels bad for Tatum. Tatum, like it's hard to see Tatum go down because he's one of the best players in the league. It just got named for first team All NBA. He deserves it. Tatum's a bad man. Yeah, you don't want to see that man get injured. But
did Steve Kerr get it right by not playing him in the Olympics?
No. I think that was driving him too. No. Like that man's a bad. Like there's no way that you could have had that man on the bench.
That's true.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
That's true.
It's crazy.
But Knicks, boy, Knicks, I tell you, man, Jalen Brunson, as I gotta say, is a bad boy.
Bad boy.
Bad boy.
Bad man.
Right? You guys played a hell of a series, take down Boston in 6. You closed it out at home in a blowout fashion. In the beginning of the season, I was like, you know what? I like Julius in New York and I like Cat in Minnesota. And I was like, you know what? I kind of think, Minnesota may have won the deal, but it's pretty much an even.
Working out.
It's an even. It's working out for both teams. It's working out for both teams.
But it's exciting.
It's exciting.
Honestly, to see this finals, the Eastern Finals is Indiana, New York.
Classic.
Man, it's exciting.
Mind you, back in the day.
It looked like the Knicks already win the championship. The streets were packed. I don't think they need to win no more because they had their championship parade.
Those man, yo, listen. This is my plan, bro. If New York wins, I'm driving down to New York in my OG jersey.
You're crazy, man. You're crazy. If you try to drive into New York, you're mad. You might as well fly in and just walk the street because you're mad.
With my OG jersey. And if Indiana wins, I'm like, yo, Puff, let's go to Indiana. With my Pascal jersey.
Nobody's going to Indiana. Nobody. New York, maybe. Indiana, nobody.
It's crazy. But New York, man, I got to say, enjoy your moment. Enjoy your moment. But don't celebrate too much. You didn't win the chip.
Already been popping bottles already.
They didn't win the chip. Come on,
already celebrated already. The celebration done happen already.
At least wait till the finals, bro. Like, cool out.
The celebration is going to get bigger and bigger. Every win is a celebration.
But I have to give you your props. You guys deserve. It's been a while, man.
Honestly, it's exciting to see the Garden and see the Garden, the player, the celebrity roll. Who's at the game today?
The NBA is exciting when the Lakers are competitive. The Celtics are competitive. The Knicks and
Toronto Raptors.
Raptors are competitive.
Yeah, right.
Bulls are competitive. Like the classic teams, you know what I mean, from the 90s. When those teams are competitive, we have a sweet NBA. But now we need to get off of that. We talked a little too much about the East. We need
Vern
to
go
long
talk.
Over to the West.
Vern long
over to the West, and let's start with Ant-Man taking out Golden State. Was it in 6 or 5? It's 5, right?
No, it's 6. Golden State in 5 because Curry went down in the first game. Yeah. That after Curry went down in that series, it was a wrap. It was pretty much a wrap.
It's pretty much a wrap.
The thing is, what it exposes Golden State is that when Curry's down, they don't have like another
bro. That's supposed
Jimmy Butler was
supposed to be Jimmy.
But I guess the offense is set up for a Curry on the court, running screens and getting the defense and back cuts.
One thing I did like though is when Curry went down, they went to Kuminga, who didn't play all the time, and Kuminga averaged 20-something.
Vern, that's a whole next story. See Curry like to keep big man on bench.
Yeah.
Bench pure people with talent.
If that man was a unrestricted free agent, he's gone. I hope somebody give him a contract that they can't match.
Well, but the thing is, if they even do match it, it's a disrespect to Kuminga. Because why would you match him and then keep him on the bench? Might as well even bring him to any team. So he could get the man. What the first 2 games, the man scored 30 points,
bro. It was crazy
when he had no offense. And that man didn't.
The man didn't see court.
How you go from not seeing court to playing and scoring 30?
Just jump up like this. Okay, let's go. I'm ready. But that's what they say. You gotta stay ready. You gotta be ready.
But now you look at teams. Okay, now you look at teams like OKC. If you have a man on your bench good, you're not gonna give the man some run to make sure he's.
Bro,
you're gonna give him no DNPs.
That's why Curry,
in the play-in and lose and have that man on the bench, brother.
Sometimes you gotta question. Curry. Yeah, he has 5 championships.
No, you do have a question, Curry. I didn't question him a lot until I started seeing with Kuminga. It's that doesn't make sense.
When he doesn't have the top tier talent, he doesn't know what to do.
No, what it is that I think that whole system in Golden State is about Curry. And you have to realize Curry's getting old, B. What are you going to do in 2 years?
And they have no one to rotate in that role and transition in that role.
Even that what's that guy, that floppy hair guy? Pazinski?
Pazinski.
I think they're trying to get him to play that, but he can't. It's not working. He ain't that
nice.
Right.
He's good. He's solid.
But you need something else. You need something else. And Kerr was asked that question. You don't think you need to change the offense? He's like, he thinks that's foolishness. But then Curry goes down. You're done?
You're done.
Come on now. Look at all the teams in the playoffs. Any of those men go down, they still have a chance.
That's true.
They still have a chance. A lot of them is multi. Look at Indiana. A lot of just pure man on the team.
This is the last thing I'll say about
New York. Brunson went down. This
is the last thing I'll say about Golden State before we touch on Minnesota. I think their championship window is that's it.
Which one?
Golden State? Yeah, it's done.
Well, they think they have one more chance.
Nah, it's done.
One more go round.
It's done. All right, unless they do some major flips and get some people.
So you think they're going to trade Curry?
No, I'm not saying they're going to trade Curry, but their championship window where they're unless they get a Giannis or somebody else
I feel you. But the thing is,
it's closed on them right now.
Unless you trade Curry, they're not going to change that offense or get rid of Kerr. One of those two things have to happen for them to rebuild. They think they're going to go down with the ship.
That's why they're going to. Yeah, that's why they're going to be salt for a while.
They're going to go down with the ship. Well, at least they get beat up, so get some draft picks.
Let's move to the number one runner-up, the guy in the number one position for face of the league, Ant-Man and the Minnesota Timberwolves. He keeps adding to the gauntlet with his infinity stones of old players. Curry, boops, on there now.
Yeah. Ant-Man is playing nice. We'll see in the next round. We've seen the first game in first two games of the finals, the Western Finals. Ant-Man isn't playing like the Ant-Man was playing in the first two rounds, though.
But in those first two rounds, Ant-Man was on a mission.
Yeah, but
and
the Lakers team wasn't ready
for some reason.
Golden State, their main man went down.
No, but their main man went down.
They had an easier route though far.
Remember I was talking about harder route versus
they
easier route?
They had an easier route because OKC had to go through Denver.
But what did you tell me? When I brought that up, people used to this, man. When I brought that up and say, hey, do you think because the way the brackets broke, OKC may have a harder road because they may have to face Denver or the Clippers? What you tell me? Yo, you have to beat everybody.
Yeah, you have to beat everybody. Well, come on. But no, Vern. Huh? Golden State may have gave them a run. But with Curry down, it's a whole different team. It's a whole the team that's like
you're right. Team. You're right. And two, I found that they played better as a team in the Lakers series than they did in that series.
Yeah,
because there is no games in the 5 games they played the Lakers that they had a bad shooting night like they did in Game 1.
I think they just came out there because everybody was like Lakers at 5, Lakers at 5. They're like, so Lakers at 5, and they came out hard.
Came out hard.
But anyways, Ant-Man, they went through. I think they had an easier route, but the OKC, when you talk about OKC, OKC look like they're the baddest team right now in the playoffs with the MVP from Canada's mashing up things. Oh, B.
Bro. Brother.
Even though they went to Game 7, I think it was...
listen.
That was a perfect practice for them for the rest of the playoffs. Like, it was a perfect push to the edge. And get the pressure, Jalen.
If Denver had Malone, they might have probably won.
Brother, I don't think it would have been a damn difference.
They got to 7.
You think if they had Malone, Denver would have won that? Like Coach Malone?
No.
Because I said, no.
That's what I said. If they had him, I'm just you got to bring something in there, bro.
Oh, you're talking,
right? But Jokic, Jokic dragged those man there, bro.
Jokic is a bad man though. But obviously they need help.
They were injured. But Michael Porter Jr. in the last game, 2 points, 2 shots?
Yeah, I guess they're injured.
Nah, bro. How you know you're not injured? Because Aaron Gordon played with a grade 2 sprained hamstring.
No, but the thing is, even though those men are
scored
injured,
in double digits.
There's nobody on the bench. There's no bench. There's nobody else on the.
But what was I saying before though? They traded off their old bench.
Yeah, that's a problem. They
didn't want to give the man the money. You want to give young man, but those young. Even when you put the young man, you need a KCP. You need a Bruce Brown.
These are the time you need.
These are the time you need those man.
When next man are injured, those guys could stepped up.
Right, but I have to say, man, they had the heart of the champs. They gave OKC.
Trust me, they went to 7 games.
They gave OKC all they can.
It was all about that first game that they stole. Where OKC don't know how to manage clock and they start foul too early. They were stripping this, free throw.
But then, throughout these 7 games, you saw the growth of OKC.
Yeah, man.
And then you're like, yo, I think these guys are winning the chip.
You have Alex Caruso playing
These
Jokic.
guys are winning the chip for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Because that series, they grew up, bro.
Yeah.
Because if they were still the OKCs from last year, they would have went down. They would have lost.
But it was good. I think that was good, like, experience.
Good.
Very good
Remember you said Tom on Fist? They got some top on fists.
They took some tops in that one.
They
lost some more games they should have won.
Lost some games they should have won.
Yo, man.
They got some tumps.
Oh, man.
Because they must learn, because the way they came out in these first 2 games of
it's going to be exciting.
The Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Who OKC sweeping these mans?
Who? Minnesota?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be a sweep. So wait, who you think? We'll talk about the series in the finals now. The Western Finals. We have OKC against Minnesota. OKC's up 2 games. They won their first 2 games at home. I do not think there's gonna be a sweep.
I don't think Minnesota's gonna go home and win 2.
I don't think they're gonna win 2. I think they might win 1.
Yeah, bro. Listen.
No,
Every time I watch OKC plays, there is a new player that I've never seen touch court, and the man is dangerous.
This is why OKC is going to win, because there's random people coming up and executing and making big plays and contributing, and then you have man coming off the next bench. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing.
Like Minnesota, I know you guys have a good bench, but you guys have never seen a team like OKC.
That's why one of them, like one game at home for sure, it's probably gonna be game 3 because they're they're gonna be like, I ain't going down 3-0. They're gonna ball out, and the others are gonna play well. Because they haven't been playing as well as I've seen them play. Like in the Lakers series, they played way better. They've been playing better.
Maybe they need. You're right. Maybe they need some go home cooking, sleep in their bed for a night.
When they go home,
and then they're ready to go.
The other man's
they
start lick shot. They're aggressive. They're like, they're not going down 3-0 because they know if they go down 3-0, the series is done. They might as well just wrap it up and go home.
What do you think about these people out here trying to smudge the MVP's name, calling him a free throw merchant? How you're a free throw merchant when you average 8.8, I round up 9 free throw attempts a game, and your rank, I think, overall in the NBA, they said around 400 and something. Come on, man.
But the thing is, they're always going to say that when they see a guy just on, because he knows how to get man up and get them.
But then they're like, oh no, it's foul baiting. I'm like, what the heck is foul baiting, bro? Man.
No, that whole year when Harding was doing these through hands and all of that, they had to change.
Bro,
they had to change the rules.
That is a skill.
It's a skill. But the thing is, it's all really, if you're going to look at it, is the NBA officiating. Because a lot of times when you're an offensive player running and bumping into a defensive player, I don't think that should be a foul call. But they call it all the time,
bro.
There's a few rules. I'm like, this I have to take
advantage. If I pump fake you and you're in the air, that jump into you move,
I have to foolishness. Matt, you're jumping to the side, and then you could jump and do this. No,
yeah, man, I got you in the air because I'm going into my motion, guy. You're there. Yep. Thank you.
No, that foolishness like that when you're changing your shot, they should just let that go. Like those little things, they should let go. Honestly, the international officiating, they should bring that this side. But they need their stars. They need to manipulate little calls to make the stars them.
All I know is Shai's not a free throw merchant.
Shai's not bad, man.
Right? Because if you look at all those, if you look at the Lakers when Kobe was there and they win their championship, Kobe shot more free throws than him. Yeah. All these guys. So you can't
look at Curry. Look how much free throws Curry gets.
Right? If you look at the top 10, the top 20 over the last couple seasons, he's way down on the list.
Come on.
Right? So you can't say that.
The thing is, you can't say
that.
You're
just mad because Richard Jefferson spoke to him, and Richard Jefferson is like, in the interviews, Shai was saying, when I used to average 11 free throws a game, right? 11 free throws shot attempts a game, no one was saying anything because we're finishing 10th, 11th. Now that we're dusting out your squads and we're finishing, in the top 3, it's a problem.
It's a problem. But the thing is, they want something. They want to argue against something when they can't beat you. Yeah. They can't find a way.
But
look at Brunson. Brunson does the same thing. He gets his calls. He ends up on the front.
Exactly.
Brunson does the exact same thing.
So who you calling in that series?
Okay.
Who do you got?
OKC.
OKC, the old Canada shade.
OKC.
Yeah, we're bringing it home. We're bringing it home. MVP. Can't no questions about it.
I'm rooting for OKC going all the way. I want that team to win all the way.
I am.
In the New York, Indiana series, I don't know yet.
Yes. I'm torn because they're 2 Raptors. So any which one of them win,
I think they're pretty even, but I would give the edge to Indiana because of their bench and they have enough man too. Run deep.
I would say New York because they got the clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, he's a bad man though still.
And we saw what he did against the I wouldn't say, the tougher opponent because they went to 6 games versus 5 games.
True, but Brunson was a bad man in that series.
And
he was
they were down
unstoppable.
2 games or a couple games. They're down 20.
Ooh,
And
they
he
were
put them on their back.
unstoppable.
So I'll give the Knicks that slight edge.
I give Indiana.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana wins because
I
Indiana
give
is nice.
The only reason is their bench. Their bench is deep.
Them light-skinned boys over Indiana, them boys are nice.
Anyways.
Them boys are nice.
So, till next time.